Just 2 days, it'll be illegal to catch South Australia's iconic snapper. Stock numbers have, of course, dropped catastrophically, so they'll be fully protected in both gulfs. And it's not the only fish species in trouble, but some anglers suspect chemicals, not just overfishing, are partially to blame for the collapse. From the very top of Gulf of St Vincent, Hendrik Gout filed this report.
What happens here, beneath the blue of Upper Gulf St Vincent, decides what happens here, in the small township of Port Wakefield, in the pub, at the caravan park. Rob, how important is fishing to Port Wakefield?
Extremely important. We've got a lot of professional fishermen up here, and all the locals, or most of them, fish recreationally.
And what happens way up in the Gulf makes a difference at your local takeaway and wherever you buy fresh fish.
I like to buy a snapper, thank you.
It's early morning on Port Wakefield Creek. Michael Chicoella, like his father before him and his grandfather before that, is heading out with his son for the fishing grounds of the Upper Gulf St Vincent.
Fishing was a great lifestyle. That's why I've got into it, and that's why I've been into it nearly 50 years. You're out in open air, away from the telephone. You can get out and please yourself.
But lately, Michael and his son have had to work a lot harder because now there's more and more water between the fish.
Oh, very much so. I mean, things are just getting harder. This gulf here used to have plenty of snapper in it. I've actually seen a school of snapper in this gulf as big as a football oval.
And now, as wreck fishermen will tell you,
if you try and catch a snapper these days, it's very difficult.
We haven't seen a snapper for a long time out here.
At the end of this month, just days away, it will be illegal to catch snapper in the Gulfs. Local snapper will disappear from the fish shops. But is it a question of overfishing? Or is there a more sinister reason? Could it be that one of the reasons for the collapse of fish stocks is an underwater defoliation on an unprecedented scale?
Michael, we're passing over an area now. There was once seagrass here, you say?
Yes, no, that's right, Henrik.
Seagrass, essential as a fish nursery, is disappearing off Port Wakefield.
Because that's where the fish come to feed. Now, this area here, that what we've covered today, used to be covered in that weed, and now it's gone. If there's no food there, the fish are not going to come there.
So it's now like a desert, and once it was like a meadow.
That's exactly right.
So, what is killing it? We know that off city beaches, it's nutrient-rich runoff from our rivers and storm drains. Up here,
there's another reason for that, and that should be addressed.
This is the Port Wakefield River, which flows into the Upper Gulf St Vincent. Follow it upstream and it leads to Auburn and the Clare Valley with its 20,000 tonnes of grape each year over thousands of hectares. And among the chemicals used in grape growing, simazine, a selective herbicide used to control annual grasses in vineyards, now banned in the EU, and this, another herbicide. There's this, like the others, used to kill grass. Does it leach into the river system? Do the herbicides used to kill grass in the Clare wash down and kill the seagrass here?
Most probably 8 or 10 years ago, that when the Port Wakefield River come down, the bottom has deteriorated at a great rate. There's a reason for that, and it's not us commercial fishermen that are doing it.
The EPA says the Gulf's seagrass meadows have been around for 10,000 years, and now they're turning into underwater deserts. Though the authority doesn't blame Clare Valley herbicides, it says the river rarely flows to the coast in dry years, and the chemicals have a 3-month half-life, so are unlikely to affect the Gulf. Whatever the reason, the results are clear, says caravan park operator Rob Gordon, and there ain't no flies on him.
In the caravan park, we don't get as many people coming up here to fish anymore, and all the locals are finding it harder to catch fish.
At the moment, we've lost 4 businesses within the town. There's a hotel gone, there's a fast food place gone, the news agency's gone.
Meanwhile, commercial fishers are heading further from Port Wakefield and into the waters around Ardrossan, competing with wreck fishers.
You know, I used to come here 10 years ago, go out and get 1 or 2 big snapper every time guaranteed, but now there's nothing.
Now we're pushed into a little box that gets hit every day.
We're justifiably proud of our Clare Valley wines, but do they come at a price, and is that price reflected here?
I've had that discussion with certain people. They love their fish, but they can't afford it.
$62.30.